In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on January 27, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Atlanta Hawks versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The Atlanta Hawks are set to face the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Target Center on Monday night in a non-conference matchup. The Hawks, currently holding the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference with a 22-23 record, are enduring a rough patch with a 4-game losing streak. Their latest defeat was a decisive 117-94 loss at home to the Toronto Raptors on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves stand at 7th in the Western Conference with a 24-21 record and are riding a wave of momentum with a 2-game winning streak, including a commanding 133-104 home victory over the Denver Nuggets on Saturday. This game marks the second and final meeting of the season between these teams, with the Hawks having secured a 117-104 home win on December 23rd. The Hawks are facing further challenges as Trae Young has been ruled out for this game, and Larry Nance Jr. and Zachary Rissesher are listed as questionable. On the other hand, the Timberwolves enter the matchup with their roster in good health, giving them a significant advantage. Two teams moving in different directions meet in Minnesota on Monday night. The Hawks have suffered 4 consecutive losses and are hampered by injuries to key players. In contrast, the Timberwolves have won 2 straight games, and their star guard, Anthony Edwards, appears to be hitting peak form. Minnesota boasts the 3rd best three-point shooting percentage in the NBA, a potential exploit against an Atlanta defense that ranks 29th in three-point defense. Moreover, the Hawks are plagued by frequent turnovers, ranking 21st in turnover margin, which poses a serious risk, especially on the road. The Timberwolves, who tied for the best record in the Western Conference last season, are shaping up as a team ready to make a strong push. Just when it seemed the Atlanta Hawks might be finding their rhythm, they have stumbled, losing and failing to cover the spread in each of their last 4 games. With Trae Young sidelined and a growing list of injuries, the Hawks find themselves in a challenging situation. The Minnesota Timberwolves, however, have been consistent in winning games they are expected to win, even if they occasionally fail to cover the spread. They are well positioned to capitalize on an undermanned Hawks team. Atlanta's track record further compounds their struggles. They were the worst team in the league at covering the spread last season and currently hold a dismal 40% cover rate this season. Only the Wizards, Kings, 76ers, and Suns have worse numbers in this regard. The Hawks' last matchup with the Timberwolves on December 23rd resulted in a commanding 117-104 victory for Atlanta, but with key players missing this time around, Minnesota has a strong chance to turn the tables. So the Minnesota Timberwolves to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Hawks' offensive woes have been apparent during their current 4-game skid, with the team failing to score more than 100 points in each of their last 2 games. The Timberwolves, with the NBA's 4th-ranked scoring defense, are well equipped to maintain this trend. The Wolves will likely aim to keep the game at their preferred slower pace, avoiding a high-scoring contest against the struggling Atlanta offense, which ranks 22nd in the league in scoring. Minnesota is currently 26th in the NBA in pace of play, and their ability to control the tempo at home should allow them to dictate the flow of the game against the Hawks. Defensive statistics further underscore Minnesota's edge in this matchup. Atlanta ranks 17th in the league with a defensive rating of 113.3, while Minnesota stands at 7th with an impressive 110.3 defensive rating. Both teams excel in limiting second-chance opportunities for their opponents, with the Hawks allowing just 13.6 second-chance points per game and the Timberwolves close behind at 13.8. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Wizards versus Dallas Mavericks. On Monday night, the Dallas Mavericks will welcome the Washington Wizards to the American Airlines Center for an exciting NBA matchup. This game marks another chapter in their recent history as the Mavericks dominated the Wizards in their last encounter on December 5th. securing a decisive 137-101 victory. Over their past 10 meetings, the teams have split the wins evenly, but Washington has managed to cover the spread in 7 of those contests. Additionally, the over has hit in 8 of those 10 games, indicating a trend toward high-scoring affairs between these two teams. The Wizards continue to face significant challenges with injuries, as Marvin Bagley and Malcolm Brogdon remain sidelined. Meanwhile, the Mavericks are also dealing with their own injury woes, as Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Dwight Powell have once again been ruled out for this game. The Wizards are undoubtedly struggling with confidence, having lost their last 13 consecutive games, with 10 of those losses coming by double-digit margins. Given their recent form, it's no surprise that the Mavericks are heavy favorites in this matchup, despite their own recent struggles. While Dallas injuries complicate matters, it's difficult to place faith in the Wizards, who have posted a dismal 1-20 record on the road this season. Although Washington has kept some games relatively close during their current road trip, including a 10-point loss to the Phoenix Suns and an 8-point defeat to the Golden State Warriors, the Mavericks have also been inconsistent, losing 3 of their last 4 games outright. The Washington Wizards are widely regarded as one of the weakest teams in the league this season, and their struggles are reflected in the lopsided betting lines they consistently face. Despite this, it's hard to fully back the Mavericks in this situation, as they are missing several key rotation players, including Maxi Kleber, who recently suffered a broken foot. Betting on Dallas to cover a double-digit spread feels risky given their injury concerns. On the other hand, the Wizards have shown some resilience as underdogs, covering the spread in 4 of their last 7 games when facing double-digit deficits. Additionally, the Mavericks have failed to cover the spread in 6 of their last 9 games. With so many injuries impacting Dallas, it's challenging to justify taking them to cover such a large number. So the Washington Wizards to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The over has been a profitable trend in recent matchups between Washington and Dallas, cashing in 8 of their last 10 games, including 7 of the previous 8. This trend is further supported by the fact that the over is 8-3 in Dallas games against Eastern Conference opponents this season and 13-7 in Washington's games against Western Conference teams. There's a strong possibility that Washington could push the pace and challenge Dallas defensively in this game. The Wizards rank 12th in the NBA in field goal percentage at the rim, which should provide them with plenty of opportunities to score in the paint against a depleted Mavericks frontcourt, especially with Derek Lively, Dwight Powell, and Maxi Kleber all unavailable. Additionally, the offensive duo of Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole can be electrifying on certain nights, adding another layer of potential scoring. Given that Washington ranks as the least efficient defensive team in the league, as long as they can keep up offensively, this game has the makings of a high-scoring affair. Both teams are among the fastest paced in the NBA, with Washington ranking 4th and Dallas ranking 8th in pace. This up-tempo style of play should lead to plenty of transition opportunities and quick shots, further increasing the likelihood of a high-scoring game. Defensively, neither team has been particularly effective at getting stops. The Mavericks rank 11th in the NBA with a defensive rating of 111.9, while the Wizards sit at the bottom of the league with a defensive rating of 118.3. Both teams have also been conceding significant points in their recent games, with Washington allowing an average of 117 points over their last 5 games and Dallas giving up 117 points in their last 4. Given these factors, bettors should expect a fast-paced, high-scoring game on Monday night in Dallas. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Bucks versus Utah Jazz. The NBA betting action continues on Monday, January 27, 2025, with a packed 12-game schedule. Among the matchups, we are focusing on a cross-conference showdown taking place at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. This game features an intriguing clash between two teams with contrasting fortunes this season. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Utah Jazz are set to face off for the second and final time this season. Their first meeting in November ended in a dominant 123-100 victory for the Bucks on their home court. As they prepare for this rematch, both teams are dealing with key player availability issues. The Bucks have ruled out Bobby Portis, while AJ Green and K.A. Tris Middleton are both listed as questionable. On the other hand, the Jazz will be without John Collins and Johnny Juzang once again due to injuries. The Bucks have been gaining momentum recently, showcasing strong form before suffering a setback in their last game against the Clippers. Meanwhile, the Jazz are enduring a nightmare season, having lost 5 consecutive games and 13 of their last 16. This stark contrast in form sets the stage for an intriguing matchup. The Bucks had won 5 straight games before their recent loss, while the Jazz are mired in a 5-game losing streak. This will be the first meeting between these teams this season, and despite being 7 games above .500 overall, the Bucks have struggled on the road. However, they face a Jazz team that has managed only 3 home wins all season. Additionally, Utah's top scorers have been underperforming in recent games, and several key players are dealing with injuries. The Jazz have been one of the weakest teams in the NBA this season, particularly on the defensive end. Their struggles on defense have been glaring, and I expect the Bucks to capitalize on this and bounce back from their recent loss. Milwaukee's defense faltered against the Clippers, but this matchup against Utah presents a much more favorable opportunity for Giannis Antetokounmpo and his teammates to regain their rhythm. The Jazz have been abysmal at home, posting a 1-10 straight-up record and a 5-6 against the spread record in their last 11 home games. Statistically, Utah ranks 28th in the league in opposing 2-point percentage and 30th in opposing 3-pointers allowed per 100 possessions. While the Bucks were always expected to be favorites in this matchup, the betting line does not appear overly inflated. Despite the uncertainty surrounding K.A. Tris Middleton's availability due to injury, I believe the Bucks will maintain their momentum and cover the spread in this game. So the Milwaukee Bucks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total points line is also worth considering, as both teams have been involved in high-scoring games recently. The total has gone over in 7 of the Bucks' last 8 games and in 5 of the Jazz's last 6 games. Milwaukee is known for its high-powered offense, and even in their recent loss to the Clippers, they managed to score 117 points against a strong defensive team. Facing a Jazz squad that ranks 27th in opponents' points per game and has allowed 124.8 points per game during their 5-game losing streak, the Bucks are poised to put up big numbers. While the Jazz have struggled defensively, they have shown some capability in the scoring department, which should contribute to a high total in this game. Over their last 6 games, the Bucks' offense has been exceptional, averaging 123 points per 100 possessions with an impressive 58.7% effective field goal percentage. On the other hand, the Jazz have allowed at least 123 points in 4 consecutive games, and I anticipate a similar outcome when the Bucks visit Salt Lake City. Both teams play at a relatively fast pace, with Milwaukee ranking 9th in the league at 99.5 possessions per 48 minutes and Utah ranking 12th at 99.1 possessions per 48 minutes. Additionally, both teams are in the top half of the league in 3-point rate, further supporting the likelihood of a high-scoring game. The over has been a profitable trend for both teams recently, with a 7-1 record in the Bucks' last 8 games overall and a 5-1 record in the Jazz's previous 6 games. Given these trends and the statistical profiles of both teams, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Clippers versus Phoenix Suns. The Los Angeles Clippers are set to face the Phoenix Suns in a Western Conference showdown at the Footprint Center on Monday night. The Clippers currently hold the 6th spot in the Western Conference with a 26-19 record and are riding a 2-game winning streak. Their most recent victory came on Saturday, where they secured a 127-117 win at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. On the other side, the Phoenix Suns are positioned 8th in the West with a 23-21 record and are also on a 2-game winning streak. They defeated the Washington Wizards 119-109 at home on Saturday. This matchup marks the 3rd of 4 scheduled games between these teams this season, with the Suns having won the first 2 encounters. The Clippers will be without Chris Dunn, Cam Christie, and Jordan Miller due to injuries, while the Suns enter this game with a fully healthy roster. A significant disparity between these teams lies in their defensive performance this season. The Clippers boast the 2nd best defensive rating in the NBA at 107.2, showcasing their ability to stifle opponents. In contrast, the Suns rank 23rd in the league with a defensive rating of 114.8, highlighting their struggles on that end of the floor. Offensively, over their last 3 games, the Clippers have averaged 117 points per game, while the Suns have managed 106 points per game during the same stretch. This indicates a slight edge for the Clippers in recent offensive output. The Suns previously defeated the Clippers twice in October at Intuit Dome, with scores of 116-113 and 125-119. However, since those losses, the Clippers have demonstrated greater consistency compared to the Suns, whose recent victories have primarily come against weaker opponents such as Washington, Brooklyn, and Detroit. The Suns rank 7th in the league in 3-point percentage, shooting 37.4% from beyond the arc, and 11th in 3-point rate at .432. Despite this, the Clippers are known for their strong perimeter defense, which could pose a challenge for Phoenix. Given this, I am inclined to favor the Clippers to emerge victorious in this contest. Los Angeles has been impressive against the spread lately, going 7-1 in in their last 8 games overall and 4-1 against the spread in their past 5 road games against the Suns. The Clippers have shown significant improvement over the past few weeks, particularly with Kawhi Leonard back in the lineup, making them a more formidable opponent with each game. While the Suns enter this matchup with momentum, their lack of depth has been a recurring issue this season, which may explain why they are not heavier favorites at home. The Phoenix Suns have quietly won 7 of their last 10 games, but a closer look reveals that the majority of those victories have come against lower-tier teams such as the Nets, Wizards, and Hornets. Until the Suns demonstrate an ability to compete against stronger opponents, I remain skeptical about their overall quality. Additionally, the Suns have struggled to cover the spread this season, holding the league's worst cover percentage at 34.8%. On the other hand, the Clippers are as healthy as they have been all season, thanks to Kawhi Leonard's return, and have won 6 of their last 8 games. I would need to see the Suns achieve success against top-tier teams before considering them a legitimate threat. A few covers against the spread would also help their case. Another factor to consider is the ongoing tension between Jusuf Nurkic and Mike Budenholzer, which has spilled into the media. While Nurkic is not an elite player, he remains one of the few viable big men on the Suns roster, and their lack of a strong post presence is a concern. Overall, I am not getting positive vibes from the Suns at the moment. While arguments can be made for either side, I have been more impressed by the Clippers, who should have a significant advantage in bench scoring in this matchup. So the Los Angeles Clippers money line is our full game side pick. Both teams have adopted a methodical style of play this season. The Clippers rank 20th in the league with a pace of 99, while the Suns are slightly slower, ranking 22nd with a pace of 98.52. Additionally, both teams excel at defending the perimeter. The Clippers rank 3rd in the NBA in opposing three-point percentage, allowing just 33.9% from beyond the arc, while the Suns rank 13th, allowing 36%. Neither team plays at a fast tempo, with the Clippers averaging 98.3 possessions per 48 minutes and the Suns averaging 97.2 possessions per 48 minutes. However, the Suns' defensive shortcomings remain a glaring issue, as they are not a strong defensive team by any measure. The under has been a profitable trend in recent games for both teams. In the Clippers' last 18 games overall, the under has hit 12 times, and in their last 12 road games, the under has gone 10-2. Similarly, the under has been successful in 13 of the Suns' last 17 games overall and in 6 of their last 7 home games. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.